Hello again, I am Jim Bob. Welcome back to Big Bud Farm, and it's the start of another day. It's very, very cloudy, as you can see, a little overcast, but that's not a major issue. This is just a little bit of cloud cover. It'll burn off soon enough. So today we have a lot of baling to go through, but we are really hurting financially right now. We're currently running at around a $20,000 loss per day with the amount of equipment and animals that we have. So we're going to have to sell a load of soybean here. We're just going to sell one single container. We're not getting a stellar price for this. It's around 800 and something per 1,000 litres. So not the greatest price, but it's a decent price, and it's enough to give us a little bit of working capital. There we go. So we've just raised 60,000. We've cleared the debt that we had. Got around about 9,000. And we're going to change our baler for today. So I'm going to take the truck back to the farm, and then we'll take our Massey Ferguson baler over to the store. We'll get rid of that, and we're going to replace it with something a little bit different. There we go. So we brought the baler around to the sell point. Let's trade this in. Get a very nice $42,000 for this. There we go. And now it's time to buy our replacement baler. Now, as you know, I do like to have a little bit of variety of mods across my different farms, so we're not always seeing the same equipment on each farm. And seeing as we're not using this anywhere else, I thought this would be a great opportunity for us to use the Krona Big Pack 120-80. It's very, very cheap. It's only 12,000 to buy. It's essentially just a regular square baler, but it does have a really nice sort of unique animation of its own. Obviously, although it's more expensive to run, it's very much cheaper to actually own one of these. So, let's go connect up to that. There it is. And what I've also done is I've actually brought the Quadra Pack around as well. What we're going to do is we're going to reconfigure the colour scheme on that slightly so it matches up with this. So what I've done is I've actually had a toolbox put inside here so that we can use this as kind of another workshop area. So let's get the light on. So there's our toolbox. There's our Quadra Pack, and we're going to change the colour on this to try and get it to at least kind of resemble the Big Pack. So let's customise. Let's look at different colour options. And that is probably a little bit dark. That's probably a little bit too pale. That's way too yellow, as you can see. That is a bit too orange. That's more kind of JCB colour. But I think we could possibly go with a green. That's probably a little bit too dirty. Let's see if we can get the green right. That would probably work a little bit better if we could do it with a green base instead. That's not the right green. That might be a little bit too bright, but let's try that one. So we could possibly get the green a little bit darker, a little bit dirtier than that. So let's try a slightly different shade of green. Yeah, that looks a little bit better. Looks a little bit more like the colour that we're trying to get. Let's try one more shade of green. I don't think that's going to work. Actually, you know, you tell me what, that's not too far off, actually. I think we'll stick with that one. So let's put our toolbox back. There we go. And let's connect up our baler to our stacker. take these back to the farm. A little bit twitchy. We're a little bit too close, I think. Oh, I've just realised this doesn't have a back attacher, does it? Oh, that sucks. Oh well, okay. Well, I still want to use this, so we'll get this back to the farm, then we'll come back and we'll grab the auto stacker, and we'll just have to run them separately. So let's get this over to the farm. Okay, so the equipment's on the field. Let's hook up our Big Bud. We're going to do some baling with Big Bud today. I mean, this is Big Bud Farm, so we should really be using Big Buds wherever we can. We're actually a little low on fuel. Let's fill this up just before we start the baling. And we'll use the voucher afterwards to use the stacker and grab all those bales into stacks of 4. So it does mean a little bit of extra work to get everything sort of stacked up. But having said that, we will be stacking. Well, once we've grabbed 4 bales, we will be able to deliver them all to the same point, which will make loading our truck a little bit more efficient. So it's kind of swings and roundabouts. Will take a little bit longer to get the bales all stacked up, but when we do, we'll have them all positioned very close to wherever we're going to put our truck, which will make loading them considerably quicker and easier. Wow, these things are thirsty. There we go. We finally have a full tank. So let's hook up to our baler and let's get started working on the field. So it's about that time in the episode where we discussed mod news. Obviously yesterday we had a huge wealth of mods released. 10 mods all released first thing in the morning. And I do mean first thing. Yeah, so normally, as I said in the past, mods generally tend to go live from around about sort of 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon here in the UK. I checked the mod hub at 8:30 in the morning yesterday, and there were 10 mods sitting there waiting to be downloaded. So that was pretty awesome. And obviously we've done a tour of Pacific Inlet logging, and we've also done a couple of mod spotlights on the Mountain Halls pack and the BSM 950 Legend. I'll link both of those, well, all of those videos in my description down below, so you can check those out, or you can also find the links on my Facebook page. Please do check those videos out if you haven't done so already. And let's unfold our baler. There we go. Get it turned on, and we do have some rather funky animation on this baler. As you can see, we have, this top panel is kind of removed. It allows us to see the bale being created. I tell you what, we're spitting these bales out pretty quickly. Look how fast we're making these bales. We are going to make an absolute ton of bales off these fields here. It's not just this one, obviously we have field 5 to do this on as well. So if you're a betting man, place your bets now as to how many bales we're going to create on this field. It'll be an awful lot. Well, not just this field, but in this baling session. So how many straw bales do you think we'll end up with at the end? I'm going to go with, let's see. I mean, we're spitting them out at a pretty fast rate. I'm going to go with around 100 bales. We'll see if it's more or less. If it's going to be anything, I think it's probably going to be more than that. But I'm going to go with around 100 bales. So let me know what you think it's going to be in the comments. Let me know if you were close. And we'll see who was better, you or me. already I think my estimate of around 100 bales was wildly inaccurate. I think we're probably going to get about 100 bales just off this field alone at this rate, you know, considering how fast we are spitting them out the back of the baler here. So it means quite a lot of trips to sell these, but each of these hay bales will be worth around $164. So if we can end up with, you know, a huge number of bales, then we're looking at a really nice kind of tidy little windfall of extra cash at the end of this. Definitely quite a bit of money to be made just from doing these bales here. So yeah, we were talking about mods, and obviously, you know, we had those three that I've mentioned earlier. Let's see what else we've also had today. So we've also had some more biobelts mods from Toxicom. He's been very prolific recently. We've had an awful lot of mods from him, and he has continued to bring more logging mods to us, amongst other things as well. So yesterday we had the biobelts UM300 mulcher, which is kind of a mower that will you know, mow the grass but won't actually spit any grass out, you know, either as a rotary cutter would, or, you know, as a general mower which will row it. It just basically shreds the grass and eats it. Then we also have the biobelts WST 220 weeder, which is a 2.2 meter weeder. Very, very handy way to fertilise your crops for free if you're a fan of using very small equipment, or if you're on a very small farm and you want to use that small equipment field. That is something I think that would work really, really well with the Massey old generation pack if you're doing a farm in that style. We also had the biobelts log container 750, which is an ITR attachment. So this is basically a log trailer to fit on the back of an IT runner trailer or truck, but also has a logging claw attached to it as well. So it kind of combines some of the stuff that we've seen from him before, but into an IT runner variant, which is a really nice thing to have. Obviously, he's been very prolific with a lot of other mods recently. We recently had a rotary cutter from him again. We had, you know, going back a little while ago, obviously the truck that came out that was, you know, subsequently withdrawn within 24 hours or so. But we've had another truck from him which came out yesterday as well. This is the Tatra Terno truck. This is kind of an older style Tatra truck. Single axle at the rear. Very nice little truck. Nice old style, and the interior on that is so much nicer than on his biobelts ITR. It's done a really, really nice job on that. So hats off to him for that one. And then the other mods that we had yesterday as well, we had what I initially thought was an update for the Stewart PS1823H, was actually a new release, the Stewart PS1823HS. It was a silage variant of the trailer that's already been released. And this is, although it's the same price, is considerably larger in capacity. It's around 38,000 litres that it can carry. So much, much bigger capacity for a trailer that's around 24.5 grand or so to buy. From Black Sheep, obviously we had their wonderful Legend truck. We also had the Joskin Wago pack as well. 3 different variants of bale trailers. We also had the high-spec 2300 gallon tanker. This is a slurry spreader brought to us from CD Models. It's a very, very nice model there. And that kind of concludes everything that we had yesterday. You know, plenty of mods, and we also had some more stuff go into testing yesterday as well. So we're looking at a chips and forage silo on the way. I don't really have a lot of details on that yet. I'm going to sort of do a bit more investigating once I've finished recording, but that could be quite interesting and quite useful for us on our farms. And there are a couple of the mods that are in there as well. We're still waiting for the Golden Days of Farming update to be released. That is currently going through testing still, so plenty of stuff been added in to replace what's been released, and no doubt we'll see more stuff adding in, you know, in the near future as well. I still haven't seen anything else about the Fendt 800 for those of you that were asking. Haven't seen when it's going back into testing. if it is even going back into testing, it may be that the problems were a little bit too big for Smetty to fix. Hopefully that won't be the case. Hopefully he's just taking his time, making sure that it's absolutely perfect this time before it gets resubmitted. But as soon as I have more details on that, I'll obviously let you know on my Facebook page. So I'm going to carry on doing a bit more baling, and we'll check in a little while. As you can kind of see from the bales just sort of popping in and out of the background there, plus all the bales that are here in front of us as well. I think we are probably going to hit our bale limit before we even finish baling. And it's, again, depending on how many we make on this field, it's entirely possible that, we're going to make well over 100 bales on this field alone before we even get to field 5. I don't think we'll hit the bale limit just on this field, but I mean, look how many bales are all the way back there. Think how long this field is as well. I was wildly underestimating just how many bales we were going to get. So more bales means more work, which means more time to get everything done, but it also means more money. So every cloud has a silver lining, and this one, that lining is actually very green. Oh, we just hit the bale limit and we didn't even get off the field. Wow. Didn't see that coming. So look at that. Look how many bales we've got just there. That is insane. So, yeah, better start stacking some of these up, I suppose. So we're going to use the voucher to do our stacking, but I'm going to change the wheels on it. So let's get near the toolbox and switch to wide tyres. There we go. Now we need to go and hook up to our stacker, which is waiting for us on the edge of the field. So we'll start stacking those into piles of 4, and we'll start grouping them at one end of the field as well, so that we can get our trailer nice and close to all of these bales. Make loading them up a lot quicker and easier. There is our stacker. Drop the ramp down. So now all we need to do is start collecting. This could take a while. We'll see how long this takes to get all of these stacked up, and it'll also give us a really good indication of just how many we've got. In fact, actually, there's something else I think that would be quite useful, and that might be to use something else from Arm Team, which is the bale pusher. So let's buy one of those. I'll go grab that, so I'll leave that just there. I'm going to go grab the bale pusher, and I'll be back here in just a moment. Alright, so we have the bale pusher attached. I'm not sure if there's any special controls on this, so let's pop the help menu on and have a look. We do seem to have some controls. So let's see exactly what they do. We can change the angle. And we can change the height. That appears to be it. That's kind of cool. Let's see how well it works. I mean, we may really not need it, but there will be some bales that will bounce a little bit. Like this one in front of us, that'll be a little bit more problematic. So this is where the bale pusher could be quite useful. Let's change the height a little bit. And we're going to load these. I think we'll stick these at the bottom of the field, because we're going to have to go all the way to the barn. we may as well do that along the bottom road. So let's get these lined up along the bottom here. So I drop these around about here, like so. Now I can get them all kind of stacked up nice and neatly next to each other in a line, make them easier for making double stacks. This is where our bale pushers can be really useful if we're going across the field like this. And that works really nicely. Really nicely. So yeah, that's got a nice little useful tool, that. I'm just going to have to be really careful when we drive up next to a stack. With that bale pusher, we've got to be careful we don't clip the stack that we're loading next to. There we go. So I'm going to carry on doing this across the rest of the field, and I will catch up with you in just a moment. As you can see, we're still moving these bales around. We've made some progress, but there's still an awful lot of this field left to collect. And we still haven't even finished baling this field yet. You know, see, I've got loads of bales all stacked up there. I've already got well over a trailer's worth of bales stacked up there, ready for collection. We are definitely going to need a second bale trailer. I don't think we can actually afford one just yet. Let's take a look, see how expensive they are. 56,000. So hopefully after we do, some of these bales will have enough maybe to buy a second bale trailer. We'll definitely need one in the future if we do more baling like this, but for now I think we'll just have to make do with a single trailer, which is going to impact on how long it's going to take us to do this job. In fact, actually thinking about it, I think, oops, there we go, we may still have a little bit of loan money left. Let's have a look. Yeah, we've still got 20,000 left, so let's borrow that. So we're at 52, and we need 56. I can borrow the dolly from our tippers, so I don't have to worry about, you know, definitely needing a tipper. Sorry, a dolly. But let's sell a trailer's worth. So where is our truck? There we go. Let's take this down. Oh, we're not connected. Let's take this down. If we sell this one trailer of bales, that'll definitely give us enough to be able to buy a second bale trailer, and then we can actually transport a lot of bales in one go. Alright, so let's park our trailer here. Oops. Straightened up. There we go. So now we're going to need our JCB. Now hopefully this will be able to manage the double stack method relatively well. I have found it to be a little bit more unpredictable when lifting stacks. They are more prone to shaking themselves off when you start traveling slightly longer distances, because you can't push the angle back any further than that unless you start to really raise the claw. And when you've got two stacks, then weight, that can become a bit of an issue. So it's not an ideal situation, but hopefully this will be up to the job. So we'll get this down to the field, we'll start loading up, and then we'll take that first trailer over and sell it, buy a second trailer, borrow the dolly from our grain trailers, get them connected together, and we'll have a lot of bales to sell in a single run that way. Alright, so here we go. Got all those bales lined up. And the reason we've done it like this is so that we can try and push the stacks together. Make it nice and easy to grab a pair of them. So let's get these lined up. Open the claw up a little bit. Let's try and wheel our way over, get them lined up quite nicely. There we go. Very fiddly when you're trying to do this. There we go, I think we're pretty much square on that. Push together. Spike them. Lift and load. And let's try and get them on the trailer, and hopefully they'll stay put and they won't start shaking themselves about in the claw. A little nudge forward. There we go. Release. Pull out. Beautiful. Look at that. Spotless. So let's strap these down. I'm a little wide off that one there. Get that one strapped and that one strapped. There we go. Right, let's get the rest of this trailer loaded up. So it turns out I actually ended up stacking enough bales for exactly one trailer, which has worked out really, really well. So let's get this final stack loaded and onto the trailer. Then we can go take these, sell these, and buy a second one of these baling trailers, because we are definitely going to need it. Gets a little wobbly and a little awkward trying to position these. And they do have a tendency to try and slide out of position ever so slightly as we're putting them down. But generally, it's not been too bad actually loading these. I thought it might be a little bit worse than it has been. There we go. Not a perfect stack, you know, there's a couple of gaps towards the end, but the first half of the trailer I'm really pleased with. That's a lot of bales. So let's take these and sell these at the barn. Alrighty, let's try and drive in here nice and steady. I love that noise. Jing, 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 as all those bales are getting sold there. So we got 8 grand off that trailer. That's pretty nice. So let's buy a second one of these semi-bales. So we want white tyres, white body, white rims. We want the ladders. Design colour wants to be white as well. And we want the oversized load. So let's buy that. There we go. And now we'll head back to our farm. Pick up the dolly. And then go and collect our second trailer. Right, so I've pretty much cleared all the bales off. We've just got this one last line to do on this field, so we'll bale up this bit of straw here, and then we'll finish loading up this field, and then we'll probably call it an episode once we've cleared this field of bales and sold them. So it's taken me hours to get to this point, so I need to take a break. But yeah, we've made you know, a huge number of bales off this field, way more than I thought we were going to make, and you can see already just how many we're dropping just in one single line here. Now when you can imagine just how much we had. You know, we had all that straw. It shows just how much work we've actually had to do to clear this field off completely. Just how many bales we've actually created. And still they spill out the back of this baler. This has definitely been one of the more labour intensive episodes here. And you can see there the mountain of bales I've got all lined up, ready to be pushed together and loaded onto our trucks. Yeah, our truck and waiting trailers. There's a good little bit of money sitting there on the end of the field, and we still got all of field 5 to do. That one's going to get done off camera. I'm not going to do that one on camera as well, so I will update you at the start of the next episode as to exactly how much we made off field 5, but we'll see field 3 through to the conclusion and see just how much money we've made from this particular field here. So there we go. Let's empty the baler with that extra bale. There we go. So now I need to stack all of these up. Just look how many bales we've got stacked up here. All of these stacks of 4. It's a huge mountain of bales waiting to be cleared. And of course, don't forget, we've already cleared an entire trailer's worth as well. So we've already cleared, what, 8-10 stacks, something like that. I think we can get 10 stacks, maybe even more than that. I think, if memory serves me right, we can get 48 bales on a trailer. So that'd be 12 stacks. So if that's the case, we've already cleared 12 stacks, and we've got all of those down there as well. That's an awful lot of bales that we've done, and you can see just how much fuel we've used up. And poor Voucher has taken a bit of a pounding today. But anyway, I'm going to get ahead and clear the rest of these bales down to the bottom of the field, and then we'll get them loaded. So I'm going to jump ahead and I'll catch up with you in just a moment. Well, just as luck would have it, we've actually ended up with a perfect number of bales from this field here. Still got one that's kind of forming in the baler, but we have an exact number of stacks. You know, we don't have any partial stacks here. They're all full stacks. That's worked out really nicely. So we'll move the Voucher out of the way there. Let's jump into our telehandler here, start stacking these bales up, and then get everything onto these trailers. This is the final stack of the first trailer. The other bales have gone on quite quickly and easily. Just this one to do, and then we can move on to trailer number 2. There we go. So the setup to get to this point obviously is taking quite a long time, but now that we're here, the loading process is incredibly quick and straightforward. Literally, we have all these bales just lined up. All we need to do is just push 2 stacks together, then go around to the side of them, grab them both at the same time, and just lift them straight onto the trailer. Just loading on the last stack here for the or the last stack on this trailer. We still have plenty more stacks left on the field. There we go, that's in place, so we'll strap that down. Let's see how many stacks we have left. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 more stacks. So that's over another trailer still left on this. We're going to need a third one of these trailers next time we do bales. So at 96, sorry, at 48 bales per trailer, that's 96 there, plus the 48 that we've already done. That's 144, I think, if my mental maths is right. Plus, on top of that, we have another trailer's worth. That's another 48. So that's 192. And then we have another 2 stacks on top of that. So that's 200 bales. 200 bales that we've made off this field here. That's insane. Absolutely insane. I can't believe just how wildly undervalued my estimate was when I said I thought we might do around 100 or so bales. We did 200 just on this one field. We still have all of field 5 left to go as well. That's absolutely nuts. Oh, of course he would pull out right in front of me, wouldn't he? Oh, we're looking a little bit wobbly here. That's a lot of bales. That's an awful lot of bales. Alright, so we've made it safely to the barn. I'm going really slowly now, so I don't tip over at the last second. Let's get lined up. And let's see. Look at the money going up. Look at that, that's awesome. We have sold 2 trailers worth of bales, and that's where we're going to end this episode. So I'll keep total tallied and let you know exactly how much we made and how many bales we made in total at the very end when we start the next episode. So thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I will catch you back on Big Bud Farm on Saturday.